Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about NFL Draft Bust Analytics. This was a series that I did a couple videos in the past last year, kind of profiling different prospects that busted and why. And I wanted to do a continuation of this series looking at prospects that people bring up a lot, like people cite a lot, like people talk about the devaluation of the running back position. And a lot of the players, or at least the draft in particular that they cite, is the 2005 NFL draft class, specifically Cadillac Williams, Cedric Benson, and Ronnie Brown, because that was the last draft class to have 3 running backs taken in the top 5. And a lot of people cite that as like, this is why running backs don't get drafted that high, and the value of running backs isn't that high anymore because of blah, 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 blah. But based on data and based on analytics, there were actually some real concerns about these running backs in particular. So this video essentially is going to highlight Carnell Williams. We're going to highlight Ronnie Brown in another video, and we're also going to highlight Cedric Benson, just to give you guys a picture that, as much as people cite the 2005 draft classes as the reason why teams have stopped drafting running backs that high, in many ways, it's not that you don't draft running backs that high, it's that you don't draft running backs that high that have so many questions in terms of their data and their analytics. So again, it'll make a little bit more sense as I get into the video. So first off, if you're new to the channel and new to the work that I do, all terms and definitions will be in the description. With all that stuff out of the way, let's get to Cadillac Williams' profile coming out of Auburn. So first off, the major, I wouldn't say red flag, but definitely solid questionable flag is his market share production. Only had a 63.89 out of 100 score. Did not hit the All-Pro career threshold or the 5-time Pro Bowl career threshold. Definitely hit above the 3-time Pro Bowl threshold. But in many ways, Carnell Cadillac Williams was not a generational running back. Generational running backs typically hit in that 89 or higher range. And so why would you take a guy that's not a generational running back in the top 5? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And of course, when you look at the averages at the position, didn't hit the All-Pro career average, didn't hit the Pro Bowl career average, and definitely wasn't near the starter average at all. Now, Cadillac Williams did have a outstanding rookie season, and there also was some positives in terms of athleticism traits. 67.50 in terms of his explosive lower body strength score, 90.98 in terms of his speed score, and 90.11 in terms of flexibility testing. But in many ways, production supersedes testing when it comes to the running back position in many ways. So again, Cadillac Williams was a great athlete coming out. Cadillac Williams also had some age concerns as well. His age score was a 46.54, 45 out of 100, which the All-Pro threshold was 79, and the Pro Bowl career threshold, multiple Pro Bowl career threshold, was 57 out of 100. So again, he was a little bit older coming out as well. And age at the running back position is a much bigger factor than people give it credit for. Most running backs hit their peak when they hit 25, and then they slowly decline after that. So if you're talking about taking a running back high, if you're talking about drafting a running back at all that is 23 years old, then you're basically taking a huge risk that he ends up giving you the same type of quality that a running back gives you at age 21 to 22, if you will. And that's what the data kind of backs up as well. Especially the fact that this is a running back that was 23 and didn't put up generational running back production. So in many ways, this video is basically to highlight that Cadillac Williams never should have been a top 5 running back at all. Does Cadillac Williams not have talent? Absolutely not. He definitely had potential to be a 3-time Pro Bowl running back, with the exception of his age, which was the only sort of major thing. But you definitely could have looked at the data and said, you know what, he has good athleticism traits, he has good production but not great production, and you could have taken Cadillac Williams as, say, a late first to day 2 type player. But you can clearly see that this is a prospect you don't take in the top 5, or top 10 even, when it comes to running back prospects. And I think that's the biggest sort of issue, and why analytics matters is analytics matters because it points out some of the issues that NFL evaluators have in terms of determining how rare a prospect is and how you should value those prospects in the grand scheme of things. We can definitely have a debate about the fact that running backs are just not as important as quarterbacks anymore, which is definitely true. But I think when people cite the 2005 NFL draft class as the reason why running backs are being devalued, I think a lot of it is just recency bias and the fact that they don't understand some of the major red flags that analytics can point out to you about a prospect. So that's what I wanted this video to really highlight, is that Cadillac Williams, and Cadillac Williams definitely had injury stuff that kind of derailed his career a bit, but in many ways injuries start to pop up as running backs get older, and there's lots of factors to kind of consider in this case. But I think the bottom line is based on data, based on his production data, based on his athleticism, and also his age data, Cadillac Williams should never have been a top 5 running back to begin with. He should have been a late first to day 2 prospect, and that's just the bottom line when it comes to him, regardless of the sort of issues with injury and those other sort of factors. So ultimately, that's just a general sort of overview on Cadillac Williams. Definitely a player that had a really good start to his career and then kind of derailed a bit due to injury, but you can clearly see based on data that there were some red flags and some concerns about taking a player like this top 5. And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know. Hit that notification button so you're always reminded when another video of mine drops. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace!